Scoville, and you were on the lifeboat. I know, my chair is squeaking. Whew. Winter is upon us, people, in northern Nevada. It is officially cold. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I want to thank everybody who got on the call earlier, where I had an opportunity to interview Chris. You guys know him as the Kiss Freak. He was one of the first people that I connected with when I first got on social media after leaving prison. For those that know how the whole social media thing started with me, obviously I started doing Tommy's picks over on Chase the Heat, which is how I met Chris. But he's been a very, very supportive guy of me for the entire time that I've been doing anything, and it was really awesome to have this opportunity to talk to him. He's really been a great friend, and I'll be honest, people, I had absolutely no idea of his past. So it was, I found out about it just a few days ago. Excuse me. So we were sort of all learning together a little bit about his past and his experience. The number of people who have already reached out, people, there is a chance. There's a chance we're going to have somebody on. We have to figure out exactly how to do some things with maybe blurring out a face. There is an individual who is making a decision right now, but there's an individual out there that is still right now in the life selling drugs on a daily basis, and still in the process of doing this. And yeah, I think that there's a chance we may have this individual on. It's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit different, a little bit more difficult to. It's easy to forgive someone that gets out of the life. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to not be repulsed by someone who is still in it, and obviously for legal reasons it would be something. But look to the future. There are some interviews that are going to be coming up that are really going to be unique and different. If you see Kiss Freak, give him a virtual high five and a virtual pat on the back. People, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that we may have had the first apology from a former drug dealer to drug addicts the world over who are still who have endured addiction. I doubt there's any place else that anyone has ever been had an apology handed out to them by a former drug dealer. That's absolutely incredible. And when he had said to me that he really wanted to apologize to people, I really was not anticipating that being literally, an apology where he stopped and just said sorry. And that moment touched me. I don't know if it did you. My mother actually caught that live feed, and my mother, as much as she's super supportive, my mother doesn't, hasn't seen 130 videos. There's a lot of things that I talk about that she would like to not relive, and I completely understand that. But she saw this entire interview and was very, very supportive, and that moment touched my mom as well. I know that there are a lot of people who have had been touched by that. I see Joe Birdwell in the comment section. We all know Joe. We all know that Joe is new to sobriety. We all know that this is the first time that Joe has ever attempted to quit. We all know this. And we all feel like we're really getting a chance to know Joe. But tomorrow night, you're really going to get a chance to know Joe, because we have made the decision that it would be a good idea for him at this point to start his real journey. I mean, he's new, obviously, to recovery. However, his attitude is fantastic. It really is, and it's infectious. And tomorrow night, people, the world is going to get a chance to meet Joe. And I couldn't be any more excited about an interview. I think tomorrow's is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm looking for the name Saigon Cinnamon. I have not seen him yet. I know he's going through some stuff, with what's happened with his mouth. I hope that he is here. I have an announcement to make on the Saigon Cinnamon shirt. It is absolutely 100% official. I could put the link up and have you start ordering right now. Here's why. What we're going to do is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. In fact, it might be a little before that. Let's say, because of time difference and things like that. Here's the reason that I haven't gone live. The first person that's going to get that shirt is Saigon Cinnamon. So there were supposed to be 2 shirts sent to here. Well, there's been about 15 shirts sent here, but the 2 of them I was then overnighting to get to him as fast as possible, because I don't want one of you getting your shirts before he does. I want that picture of him and his son. He's going to change his avatar to be that picture, and I don't want anyone else getting that shirt before he does. Does that make sense to everybody? I mean, can I get a thumbs up on that? Do you understand where I'm going with that? So I don't want to start doing the, I don't want people to start ordering this only to get that product before he does. So here's what I'm going to do. His shirt should have been here today for me to just ship out. Since it was not, it will be here tomorrow. What I am going to do, people, is I'm going to put his shirt in the mail tomorrow. There's no chance that anyone is going to be able to get that faster, but I will tell you the link to go to. I'm going to put the link right on the page starting tomorrow, 3 o'clock West Coast time, but it is official. And I'll tell you something, I'm going to give a shout out to Savannah, the name Savannah. I am inept, people. I am inept. This is my element. You know, the boat's looking pretty, isn't it? Did you see how beautiful the boat looked tonight for that interview? That's Mark Wages, people. That's my man. That's my brother. Mark has polished this boat. He has shined it. He has got the teak wood gleaming. The amount of time and effort that Mark puts in. Let me give you an idea. I come home from work and I shoot a text, or I shoot a text in stop and go traffic on the way home from work. And I say, Mark, I'm doing an interview. It's at 6 o'clock, man. You got to make this happen. That's usually how it goes down. And then I'm in the shower. I'm doing all of the things that a person does when they come home from work. And with 5 minutes to spare, Mark has put everything together, ready to go. And all of a sudden, I'm here, and I just have to sit down and I just have to talk. People, that is a dream for me, because if I had to do what Mark was doing, the channel would be failing. I promise you. That's just how it is. I'm not making that bigger than it is or anything else. In fact, I'm probably downplaying it. No, literally, I would be failing. The channel would be failing, and we would certainly not be getting 30 to 50 new crew members coming in each and every 24-hour period of time. This is all Mark, and then obviously you people, word of mouth and all of that. But the beauty of what is happening with the boat is Mark, and wait until you see what he's going to be doing with it this week coming up. You saw the disclaimer today before the interview that I did. People, we want to make sure that we're as professional as possible. And I am not a doctor, and I find myself saying it so often because there are some issues that are going to come up that quite simply need to be dealt with by a professional. So I don't want to be misconstrued as that professional. I am a recovered heroin addict. I am also a convicted felon. I've been to prison. You know my story. That's the person who's talking to you. I don't want anyone who just shows up to think I'm anybody other than that. And Mark is just really doing this and doing it well, as opposed to me having to come on and do that. A little disclaimer in the beginning is beautiful. I'm so happy that is there. So I'm going to be talking about a bunch of stuff tonight. But before I get rolling, there's something that I'm appalled that I have to address. I really am. This isn't fun. This next segment here is not something I'm really super excited about talking about. But there's no way to avoid it, and these things are gonna happen, people. And when they do, as the captain of this here vessel, I am going to have to address them. Last night there was a period of time. Saigon Cinnamon, I hope that you heard what I said. Tell you what, people, before I get to the no fun stuff, I want to tell Saigon so that he hears what I just said. Saigon Cinnamon, the shirts are ready to be ordered. You can order them right now. As I told everybody, it's a 14-day campaign. I made it a 15-day campaign, and the reason is no one is getting their shirt before Saigon does. So, starting tomorrow, 3 o'clock, the link will be up. Why then? Because by then, I will have received the first batch of shirts to me, And 2 of them are going out to Mr. Saigon Cinnamon and Saigon Cinnamon Jr. I'm sorry, we need a much better handle than that. I apologize. But Saigon's Boy in a size medium, by the way. Those shirts are going out so that the first 2 people to get these shirts are the first 2 people who should get these shirts. The second those are in the mail, and they didn't get here today. If they did, the button would be up now. The second they are in the mail, the clip will go up, boom. You can then go right to the site. What you're going to be doing is getting directed to someone else's site that is doing all of this for us, because that's the way it has to happen for the time being. There's no way I can do everything that I do. I have to get this done in segments, and they're handling everything. And I'll tell you something, people, they're a great operation, because today at work I sent an email I should post where I just said, you know what, I don't get a break. And all of these screw ups that have happened, I said, I'm ready to just walk into a brick and mortar place with a checkbook and say, make this happen so that I can talk to a human face to face. I don't have time for this. It's killing me. And this beautiful person named Savannah emailed me back and said, take a deep breath, Captain. Literally, take a deep breath, Captain. I'm going to do all of this for you. And you're just going to be able to post it. I promise you. I understand exactly now what's going wrong. I read every single correspondence email back and forth. Are you ready? 27 of them. 27 back and forths. But Savannah took the time to read all of them and said, so I got an email that said, it's done. Here's the link. How are we doing? And I just said, if you knew what you just did to take this weight off of me. But there's nobody getting that shirt before Saigon does. The coolest thing is this: when you get the link, Savannah said to me, we need the name of a link. You want Tommy Scoville? I said, no, the link will be called Saigon Cinnamon. So when you see the link up there tomorrow, it's going to say da-da-da-da-da and / Saigon Cinnamon. And you will go there, and the shirts are available. So all ready to go. But that will be 3:00 left coast time. By then, the 2 most important shirts will be on their way out. I will not be putting one on. I will not be displaying one or holding one up until the first 2 people can display those and hold them up. That's the people that need to do this, and I'm smart enough to know that. I'm not smart enough to know a lot of things. I'm smart enough to know that the first person that needs to put this shirt on is Saigon and his son, and I'm going to do that. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be worth a well, you know. So good to see everybody. Oculi Mortis, best coast, left coast, our coast. Oh, and there's Saigon Cinnamon. I am so glad that you're here, man, and I'm praying for you, bud. I really am. By the way, the story, people, that I told about Saigon's boy talking to the girl in school, saying that Saigon could help her mom. That story's a lot more beautiful than I gave it credit for. I read the whole story of it last night. And I apologize. You know something, people, because of the number of emails I get, I'm behind, and it's heart-wrenching when I get an email that I read and realize that it took 4 days to get to it. I love you, man. Saigon, I really do. I love you, man. You're top shelf. You're one of my favorite people. I was bragging about you earlier to my mother. She said my mother watched the whole interview, and she said, "There's a man named Saigon Cinnamon." I said, you don't remember the story, Ma. I told you how this gentleman got his name, but my mother was touched at some of the conversations going on in the comment section. Journey, how are you? See what I did there, people? Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Living and learning. Okay, people. Now, there is a time and a place that you have to deal with things that are unpleasant, and that sucks. It's not the part of what I do that I look forward to. It's not the part of what anyone does that they look forward to. But this is important. Oculi, I love you, brother. This is important because I have a very, very strong feeling about certain things, and that's not going to change. I am a very, very open person, and we can debate and we can discuss. And if somebody feels that that addiction is not a disease, and they want to state their side of it and do so as a gentleman or a lady, You could do that till the end of time, and I will come out respecting their opinion more and things of that nature. That's just one example. There are thousands of examples like that I am wildly open to hearing the other side of the argument on. I'm a pretty open guy that way, and I am, I've said before, my only gift is communication, and it also is the love of everything that I do. Communication is more important to me than anything, so I am open to having my mind changed about anything that we can debate. That stops when we talk about somebody putting hands on a woman. This is not a debatable freaking subject. Last night in the comment section, somebody decided to talk about how they didn't have a problem with the fact that they put hands on their pregnant wife. I'm not banning this person because this person needs the boat, but I am not going to sit by and allow that kind of discussion to happen in the comment section. I wish that I could read the comment section and do what I do at the same speed. It's not possible for me. If I could, I would have come unglued last night. The person then went on to say, you know, everything is always my fault. Yeah, brother, it is. That particular subject matter, your fault. He said, well, you don't know what it's like if somebody bloodies your nose. I'm going to tell you a story right now, people, about a New Year's Eve with a woman who I had asked to marry me. And we had a party. I was wearing a tie. It was not the kind of party where people do beer bongs. This was the kind of party where everybody there was in a beautiful dress or a tie and a sports coat. And it was very much more of a cocktail party that just happened to happen right around New Year's Eve. But the girl that I was almost ready to marry, I mean, we had been discussing marriage at length, but I got this person really drank to excess, and she spilled a couple of drinks on some brand new carpet, and I just went over and cleaned it up. And her friend made a comment about, oh, great, you know, if I could get a guy that, you know, was willing to clean up carpets, I would probably marry him too. And everybody kind of snickered. And I made a comment about, well, if drinks get knocked over, then obviously I'm going to have to, you know, clean up the carpet. So what happened was she knocked over another drink, and I cleaned it up again. And then I walked by at one point, and the drink was hanging off the table. It was a apple martini, and it was about to be the third drink of the day that I would have to clean up. Well, instead of that happening, I simply pushed the drink back onto the table so that it wasn't hanging off the edge and I wouldn't have to then clean up again. Well, what happened was when the party was over, I was in the kitchen and I was washing dishes and I was cleaning things up, and she came in and she said, Tommy, you embarrassed me tonight. And I said, I embarrassed you? I said, I embarrassed you. I said, well, all I did was clean up the carpet. I said, I didn't pick on you. I didn't say anything about you. I said, I just cleaned up the carpet. And then I turned and I sat down to drink. And when I came back, I got punched with a right cross that I will put up against punches that I took in the face in prison. This was one of the great punches ever thrown. Palms down, she followed through. My chin went from here to there. And it just buckled my knees. If the refrigerator wasn't where it was, I would have gone flat on my face on the floor. But the refrigerator caught me and held me up, and she was standing between me and the wall. And I reached out, and she cowered. And I said, what are you doing? She goes, you gonna hit me? I said, I'm gonna grab my car keys. I'm gonna hit you. What? Why the hell? You hit me. I didn't hit you. I reached up and I grabbed my car keys. And she said, where are you going? I said, far away from you. I am never going to put myself into a situation where I would have to defend myself against a woman. I walked out of that. So have I been in a situation? Yeah, this girl decked me. And it kept us from getting married. I was never going to put myself into a situation where, God forbid, I would actually have to defend myself, because I'm not going to do it. It's not what happens. Sorry, it's not what happens. No, it's not okay. It's never going to be okay. Never. You understand? It's never going to be okay. And if you want a place that it's okay, maybe there's a boat for that, right? Or it's a car, or it's something else. But right here on this boat, we will never justify somebody hitting a woman. And if you think that I'm wrong on that, I encourage you to find somewhere else to hang out. And that's all I have to say about that. I apologize, people, that I had to say that. But I got emails from people that said, I'm not exactly sure how to handle that. I'm sure how to handle it. It's not okay. It is not okay. And it's the mindset that, well, there are times you might have to do it. That kind of mindset breeds awful things, and it is not going to happen. Plain and simple. And I'm no apologies, man. That's who I am. No apologies. Sorry for the loved ones having to listen to this, because you people know. I'm telling you things that you already know. So that was for an audience of one. And for that, I'm sorry that you had to listen. But for the audience of one, no apologies. We don't do that. We don't condone that. We don't talk about stuff like that as if it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. People, hearkening back, because I know that some people just joined us. Can you remember a moment in the history of social media? Can you think of a moment in the history of anything where a drug dealer looked into a camera lens and said, I am sorry for the lives that I helped hurt. I am sorry for the people that I sold drugs to, and the fact that I helped them along and aided in their addiction. Can you remember that? Saigon, well said. Well said, Saigon Cinnamon. I don't remember that moment any other time but tonight. And the reason that I don't remember that is it's never happened. It's never happened. And it was a beautiful thing to see someone come on and do that. And I want you to know, people, I did not ask him to do that. And when he said that he really felt like he needed to apologize to the world, I did not think it was a literal apology. God almighty, how beautiful was it that it was a beautiful, real, literal apology. That was magic. It really was. That was magic. Congratulations to my crazy uncle, by the way, for continuing the good fight. He's doing the right thing, and I'm so happy he's here. He's a positive guy. I love the fact that you're out there and you're doing it. People, tomorrow night is going to be it's going to be a really exciting night for me, and we're plowing new ground yet again, because this is we're not putting someone on that's got 5 or 10 years of sobriety, and what that means. What we're doing is we're putting on somebody that is so new to sobriety. It's going to be such a snapshot, because I believe wholeheartedly that on the 14th of October next year, we're going to be talking about how Joe's got a little more than a year sobriety in. And I look forward to doing an interview with him and saying, Joe, do you remember coming on when you just had a few weeks and that excitement and that everything was new? Tell us what it feels like a year later. But to have someone on this early in the fight, I think is going to be a real eye opener. And I don't want to use, I can't think of another word to use, so I'm going to use it. But in a lot of ways, Joe's become a mascot. You know what I mean? A symbol of everything that we fight for. Here's somebody that says, prior to coming here and prior to the boat, I've never even tried. And he has said in numerous times and in numerous places that you all are a godsend. That the crew of this boat is a godsend, literally. That you people are like a light, literally like a beacon that is allowing him to to continually come back to the same place for support and for excitement, and really having an opportunity to just be that guy. And that guy new in his sobriety, but most assuredly not alone. And that's just absolutely awesome. I cannot be any happier that is going to take place. I really can't. It's huge. So make sure, please, that tomorrow night, hold on one second, people. This is my daughter. Sorry about that. You know how it is, people. It's my daughter. Had to take that. So, but it's going to be an absolutely awesome thing to see somebody that early on in the game to come in and tell his story. You know the tip of the iceberg. We all know the tip of the iceberg. Speaking of my daughter, good to see you, Cedar. I'm happy that she's here. She was about to go to bed. I said, you can come in and say goodbye to me here. There's no reason, I can't really jump off what I'm doing, but I did want to say good night to my daughter. I like that she's going to bed early on a school night. That's a good thing. But I love you. You're a good girl. Joe, I am so excited that I was going to have my wife on the interview, but she is not going to. Okay, that's, something. This would have sounded bad if I'm not saying it exactly as I am now. I kind of think it's better. I would love to have your wife on with the two of you, but I think the first time we do this, because where you're at, I would love to track this entire process. I really would, and not necessarily just with you. Right now, you are that mascot, that vision of what early sobriety is, and I think that tracking that and interviewing you and having your story out there is going to be magic. I think as we go further along and we talk to you again, I would love to hear your wife's perspective. But in the the very first go around, I think it might be a nice thing to be able to just do, really kind of focus on what this is for you. And I think that that's probably the best case scenario. But it would have sounded awful to say, no, let's not invite your wife the first time. So if she can't make it, we understand. And I do like the idea of just having a one-on-one with you. I think that that's going to be awesome. His story is, there's far more to the story than meets the eye, right? There always is. But from just the correspondence that we've had, there is really this is really a story that needs to be told. Also, I had 2 people reach out to me. I'm going to give you the names of these people. They're probably not using, I don't know what their avatar names are, but they have been on live feeds. I don't know if they've ever been on them at the same time, but these are people that are super important in my life. And I guess the longer I do this, the more that this is going to happen. But, there are people who are catching wind of what I do, and people that I have, deep and personal relationships with that are now finding the boat and are coming on board and watching. And that's really an awesome thing. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I do want to do a shout out to 2 very important individuals in my life. I would like to do a shout out to Clark and just say, I know things have been hard, but you're in the right place. And the other person I simply call Puddles. If you've ever, and this is going to sound horrible, people, but the nickname started as a drug thing. If you've ever seen how people smoke heroin, it literally is a puddle that gets chased around on a piece of foil. And for the longest period of time, that was just the focus of this individual's life more than anything in the world. Now the focus of this individual's life is joy, and literally I think the phrase was, "I just tingle all over all the time," which is awesome. But apparently, for reasons that would be very personal to Puddles, that is a nickname that is going to stick, apparently. So I'm okay with that if Puddles is. So a shout out to the both of you. My life is so much more rich because the 2 of you are a part of it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Also, people you've seen over on our Safe Harbor over there on Facebook. If you pop in there, you see people post and all kinds of things. My friend Pip is one of the first supporters of what I have done on what was to become the lifeboat. Pip would listen for hours on end as I went on about exactly what this dream was. So and then when things got underway, we just sort of we both have lives oddly enough on different sides of the planet, and Pip sort of just discovered the lifeboat and everything that was been going on with it, and has got a chance to come over and see some of the videos, and is super excited. And I think that it's absolutely awesome that she's had that opportunity. And Pip, really glad that you've had the opportunity to see some of the stuff that we're doing. So speaking of the Safe Harbor over on Facebook, There was also a post, and some people have sent me a couple of complaining emails because there was a post that took a shot at one of my favorite candies. People, it's all in good fun, but there was a post about candy corn, and some people said, I don't think that people. It was a joke. You know what I mean? Let's not be snowflakish. We can all have fun with one another. If we start getting so sensitive that we can't joke with one another, then it's really going to take the fun out of this. But since the time was taken by almost everyone to take a shot at my annual celebration of all things candy corn, I would like to have an opportunity to respond back a little bit to the comments that were made concerning some of the ingredients that go into candy corn. I will start by saying that if the things that go into candy corn come out of a kitty litter tray, they're still tasty and I love them. And it's only once a year. But since you all are convinced of just how rotten they are, I would like you to keep in mind that candy corn is literally a something that is only enjoyed for about a 45-day period of time, right? Nobody's buying candy corn in June, right? This is a late September to the end of October kind of a thing. And then they're gone, they disappear. And according to almost everybody here, everyone on the planet hates it. LB Loxley just said something about LA Beast and candy corn. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I love LA Beast. I really do. LA Beast is my favorite YouTuber, and my brother's kind of a famous YouTuber, but my favorite YouTuber, hands down, is LA Beast. So if he's done something with candy corn that I haven't seen, I promise you I'm going to make sure that I see that tonight. I'm going to go and look that up because the Beast is the best. He really is just an amazing, amazing YouTuber. The content he puts up is so much fun. But it's all in good fun. We all want to take a shot at candy corn. I get it. Hunter Haas, good to see you. But I thought I might point out a few things about my little guilty pleasure that comes around for just 45 days a year. It's odd that no one seems to like it because in America this year, there will be 35 million pounds. Let me say that one more time. There will be 35 million pounds of candy corn consumed in the United States. That is 17 metric tons. Are you hearing this? 17 metric tons of candy corn. Yeah. That works out to be about 9 billion small, tasty little pieces of candy corn. 9 billion with a B. So, to all of you haters out there, obviously at 17 metric tons or 35 million pounds, to those of us in the United States who do not subscribe to the metric system, 35 million pounds. I'm thinking that there are some people out there that like candy corn because I can't be good for more than, say, 200 or 300 of those pounds. That means there's a lot of people out there eating this. You get it? Okay. Now, if you're curious to know what kind of people they are, well, the top 5 states for candy corn would be California coming in at number 1. Big consumers of candy corn, California. Number 2, the great state of Texas. Big consumers of candy corn. Coming in 3 is Florida, followed by New York, New York. The city so nice they named it twice. And last but not least, the state that has given us Deja Moore's, Michigan. How's that, Deja? Your state is number 5 in terms of consuming candy corn. So, seems you're behind the times. Might want to jump on board for the big win, get you some candy corn. And that is all I have to say on the candy corn debate until next year at this time. But seeing as it is often said in the same breath as Vegemite, which is purely based on a dare. Like nobody really eats Vegemite for any reason other than to prove that they can eat Vegemite. You know what I mean? It's like Sistroming. There's nobody having a Sistroming sandwich. These are all things based on dares or challenges. Nobody likes Vegemite. I mean, Johnny might claim that he does, but that's just because he's trying to impress his girl who's from Australia. Nobody really likes Vegemite. They don't. That's just awful. So, let me tell you about my job, people. you know what I did last time, right? I talked about how basically I stood around 6 chutes that just shoot paper out, right? These big stacks, and I had to stack them and not just set them down. They had to go in a specific pattern, right? So that there was rigidity to the whole process because you'd go 7 layers high. So it would be two this way, two the other way. The folds need to be pointed to the outside, and it was just it's complex and it happens very, very fast. And what they do is 2 sheets per person. Unfortunately, in America today, people don't go to work. Like it's an epidemic. They've gotten so, stop that, Alan Ballantyne. You're better than that. I love Alan, but the whole Vegemite thing is just, yeah. Uh, but people don't go to work. We're having a crisis in America that people just don't go to work. So very oftentimes it was two of us trying to do the job of 4 people. So you're literally just sprinting for 12 hours a day, and you're never, it felt like you were never really off. You were constantly there all day, every day, and 12 hours at a whack. So when I left that job, and because it was conflicting with other things, I went and got a job at a place that manufactures things out of steel. Well, technically, they modify things that their company manufactures. We're like the modification center. So they make these very large industrial sinks and shelves and things that are all used in the service industry. Like if you work at a restaurant and you have the sinks in the back, and all of those things have to be manufactured and customized in such a way that there are no little nooks and crannies that food can get into, right? There's literally different rulings for how the edge has to be beveled to a roundness so that no food can ever wedge in there. And this is the kind of thing that we do where I work now. And that's, when I was told I was going to a place that works with steel, I was a little concerned because I've never done anything working with steel. And I thought, well, you live and learn. So I'm going to get in there, maybe pick up a different skill. As I got in there, what I found was they were looking for somebody to work with wood. What I do there is I construct things like crates so that when we ship out our product, nothing is going to destroy it. As forklift drivers, many of whom are not particularly careful with what they do, if they bump into this stuff as opposed to it just sitting on a pallet, there is an assembled box around the outside of it. You've probably seen this before. Well, I throw those boxes together, and it's I've done cabinet making. It was one of the first jobs I ever had in life. Is I was an apprentice cabinet maker, and I started at a very, very young age. My next door neighbor had a cabinet making place, and I started working there when I was a boy, and I worked there for probably 4 years or so, and learned a great deal about woodworking, and developed a lifelong love of it. I like the smell of wood. I like everything about it. So when I got here and the guy said to me, "What's your skill set?" I said, "I've never done any of this. I'm going to be worthless to you people. I'll try, to learn, but I'm sort of an old dog." And he goes, "Well, can you build anything out of wood?" And I thought, ha. So I have basically, good night, Hunter Haas. If you're leaving, my brother, I love you, Hunter. By the way, if anybody, whoever put up I think it was LB Loxley, if there was something about LA Beast, and Hunter reminded me because he and Hunter and LA Beast are friends. If there's a candy corn thing, please tell me about it. I want to catch that video. But not only do I just build things out of wood, but it's not finished carpentry. It's, sort of rough carpentry, and I get to go really, really quickly with nail guns and just sort of throw stuff together, which is awesome. It's just, and I'm left alone, people. So I pop in the earbuds and, just kick it on, and I listen to tunes, and I just crank stuff out. And the other cool thing is that the stuff that we ship very rarely fits onto a pallet, right? Pallets, for those of you who have done any kind of shipping, are a very specific size. Everything we do is either a pallet and a half in length, or a pallet and 3/4, or 2 pallets, 2.5 pallets. Well, I take pallets and extend them and do things like that. And they were hoping that you could do, say, 15 to 18 of those a day. Maybe they said 17 or 18 a day, somewhere in there. I can't remember the exact number, but I did about 38 the first day. And it's one of these rare jobs where if you don't know what to do, you can just go over and start cranking out, more pallets of different sizes. So there's never really any need for guidance. I can just go in, punch in, and go to work. And it's perfect, people. I mean, this is my job. This is what I want to do, right, for the rest of my life. This, I want to help people. That's really, I think, my calling, right? This is what I want to do forever. But in the meantime, I have to have a an occupation that pays the bills so that I can continue to keep the boat afloat, so to speak. And thank God that I really have found just a perfect avenue for that. And on top of that, my probation officer came by to visit last night and was super happy that I got a new job. He likes the hours better. He said that he does not have a problem with my traveling to Florida, as I've told everyone that I was hoping I would have the opportunity to do. So in my life, everything is smooth sailing, so to speak. Really, just been it's a good time to be Tommy. You know, I feel like the rough seas have leveled out, and I really am just sort of trucking along. Because of the new job, I have 3 days off every single week, right? So on, just in case you're wondering, Charlie Mullins, it's Goodnight Journey. Seems I've been pronouncing that wrong for a long period of time. I'm sorry, Journey. I'm so sorry. Did an entire interview, you know? Couldn't you have said that like, hey, idiot, that's not how you say my name. Instead, I just continued to do it. It's awful. People, you got to correct me when I make mistakes, like instantly. And by the way, if I have something like right here, you know, hey, don't let me do a whole live feed with something on my face or anything. You gotta have my back on this, people. You know, please. So I am going to have the next 3 days off from work, which means that for the next 3 days, I'm going to have the opportunity to work primarily on the boat. So I am going to be with my first mate, and the two of us are going to be doing quite a bit. We're going to be doing quite a bit over the next 3 days to work pretty exclusively on the lifeboat and its appearance. It's how professional it looks, so that we keep putting out a product that is going to get the job done, for lack of a better way to put it. It's going to make us look professional as we get pushed out. And tonight was a great example, people. If the first time you ever saw the lifeboat was to come on tonight and catch that interview, and you hear the waves and you see the disclaimer, and then boom, you got the split screen, Mark Wages. That is the crew member on this boat that makes this thing look good. You know, you all keep it afloat, but Mark makes it look beautiful, and he allows me to do what I'm good at. When Mark and I first met and we started to talk, he said to me, you know, you seem very comfortable sitting and talking and, you know, being honest about your life and all of that, and that's something that a lot of people aren't comfortable doing. And when I thanked him, he said, but if it would be perfect if that's really, you know, you could just focus on doing what you do and what you like doing. And I thought, yeah, that would be great. What he has been able to do to take over so much of what I would have to worry about. And when I say take over, people, I mean literally. You know, it's I have a producer in the studio. You know, like when you see a professional deal on television and they talk to so and so, you know, back at the studio. Mark is that guy that makes all of this run. If you ever get a chance to do an interview with us, you will see that it really is that way, right? You saw us side by side. What you don't see beforehand is there's three of us, right? And Mark goes through and explains to us, you know, to myself and whoever I'm interviewing, sort of the nuts and bolts of what's going to happen. I'm going to need you to keep quiet for a minute. We're going to go up. I'm putting this on, and it's just, people, the man's a pro. He is a pro, and he's in the same boat we are. He understands everything that we're going through. He's not just somebody that's putting time and effort in, although he is, but it's so much more than that. There's a bond between Mark and I. Hey, he just said the same thing. there was literally a bond between the two of us that happened within about 6 seconds of being on the telephone together. And when those things happen in life, and I don't think that they happen very often, it's absolutely beautiful. People talk about meeting the love of their life, or people talk about, when they meet their significant other and they know within 2 seconds. I'm very much a guy that likes women, but when I met Mark, it was that kind of a deal for the boat. I knew that fast. When we started to talk one on one, I thought, this is literally the guy I prayed for. I knew what I was bad at, and I remember telling Jack can tell you. I remember telling other people that I was really close with that uh, I was just praying that there was going to be somebody that came along that knew enough about, um, YouTube and how everything works, that they were going to be able to help me. And once again, I would have really been happy with a 6, right? Very much like the crew and everything else on this boat. This was the dream, and then what I got was this much higher. I'm not trying to make Mark feel uncomfortable, but the nature of what we have going here, people, is he's 50 or 60% of what is going on this boat. And because he's not sitting in front of the camera, from time to time, I'm just really going to have to shout out just how important that this man is to exactly what he has, what he's doing here, and the effort that he's putting in. You guys are seeing the difference in the appearance of the boat. What you're not seeing is the back office stuff that you can't. What's happening to the number of views, what's happening to the amount of time that is spent with people watching, what's happening to the demographics and to the number of countries and all of that. And this right here is for my first mate, who is literally the one making that happen. He is just really turning this from a rinky-dink guy sitting in his office talking to a very professional product. And Mark, I love you like a brother, and I am so proud that you have chosen to work with me, because you are making this a lot more fun. You really are, and it's people. It's so much bigger than just having the assistants. I can't tell you what it's like to have someone that is so much on the same page that, as we hit these little victories along the way, I got somebody to celebrate with. It's great to come here and celebrate with all of you, but Mark and I are in the trenches. To see the interview the way it went up tonight, the amount of time that Mark has to put in, and I'm talking about from the concept of it. When I said I can't make any of this happen, he said, I got an idea. When I said it's just not working out this way, I got another idea. And from software to upgrading this and getting this membership and doing all this, people, he does so much behind the scenes. The man is a hero. And if you see Mark, give him a thanks, because this boat would look like a dinghy if it wasn't for Mark wages. I love you, Mark. I really do. And I've probably sufficiently embarrassed him, at least for today. We'll take another shot at embarrassing Mark again tomorrow. But for the day, I think that's probably, and the reason that I got off on that unbelievable tangent is because we are going to be working a lot this weekend. And once again, you are going to have the opportunity to see the fruits of our labor. It's one of the things where, unlike other things in life, when Mark goes to work on the boat, you will instantly see the results. It's something that pops up. It doesn't sneak up on you. Instantly, you will know that something has changed. So you are in for a treat when this weekend is over. The boat is going to yet again look even better. So people, what I want to do with the remaining time that we've got, I've been trying to keep these to an hour. Polo, YOLO. That's got to be a reference to, yes. Some funny emails. Somebody said to me, why does this not have a big Polo guy on it? Which I thought was a great question, and probably a really good idea, but I don't want to, the captain thing is definitely something that I want to continue with. I wouldn't want to be called Captain Polo, but I'm a big fan. I had a couple of other emails where people said, hey, what's the deal with Polo? Polo was born very close to the same time I was, right? This company was started at a time right around the time that I was born. And for those of us of a specific age, you will remember that this company evolved over time. Like any good company, it has sort of grown with the times. But the one thing that it has done is to sort of keep a certain style, so that as you know, the 80s came and it was acid wash and it was all of these different things that sort of, you know, come and go. One of the only companies that in my lifetime that has kept to a very specific, hey, this is who we are and this is what we do, has been Ralph Lauren and Polo. So over the years, I really collected a lot of it. Um, as you know, my friends who know me in person can tell you it's almost frightening the number of things that I have that say Polo on it, and that, you know, on top of all of that, when my father passed away in February, my father was a huge Polo guy, and I'm bigger than Johnny. If you've seen videos where the two of us are together, I very much was built more like my father. Johnny and I were closer in size until he had some surgery on his back and they actually removed a vertebrae. And, you know, that will sort of, you know, he definitely, with back injuries and with surgeries, he sort of compressed over time. And I think he's probably lost about 1.5 inches in height. So Johnny is, you know, 5'11" ish now, where he used to be a little over 6 feet tall. And I am about 6'2", 6'2.5". So when my father passed, nothing that my father wore was going to be something that fit Johnny real well. So it was like doubling the size of my my Polo wardrobe, and which is also really nice. Jesse Brown, 6'4". That's really pretty close to what my dad was. Toward the end of his life, you know, age does this to everybody, but towards the end of his life, he was closer to about 6'3". But he was throughout my youth, you know, when he was Superman in my eyes, you know, and was still playing sports and doing all of that. He was 6'4", about 270. He was just a really big man, which is how he got the nickname Moose. That was actually something that went back to his days. Mark Wages says, I shrunk a few inches myself. I'm not surprised because what Mark has gone through with his, you know, with his back and everything else is nothing shy of astounding. Please, people, Mark's having some issues with his back. If we could keep him in our thoughts and prayers. And people, just because I may not come up and say something, just remember the people that I'm always talking about. I get sidetracked, which is, and I never want to. I don't want anyone to ever get sick of me saying these things, but you know, Brittany and her mom, want to keep those, you know, them in our thoughts and prayers, and all of the people that we know out here who are fighting the good fight. Have I heard of his purple label cloths? Yes, in fact, I have, Saigon. And more impressively, I read your entire message. You said it couldn't be done. Yes, I do know the purple label. And they actually have like 4 or 5 different lines that don't get a lot of ink. You know, like the green shirt that I wear occasionally, it doesn't have a Polo Man on it, but is Polo. Also, and you know, people will laugh, but the you know, bed sheets, you know, silverware. Yeah, Polo has everything, luggage. And I'm not going to say I have all of that stuff, people, but let's see here. Jacob says 6'2" if I'm standing at attention, 6'1" normally. Well, at ease, my friend. No reason to be at attention now. Yes. Now, so all of my dress clothes are purple label. Yeah, I knew there was a reason I loved you aside from everything else, Saigon. You have excellent taste. Well, one of your wardrobe is about to change. Yep, you and your boy going to be cannot wait. I'll tell you something else. When you try those shirts on, you know, we expect to see that posted everywhere you can post it within, say, 40 or 50 seconds, right? We're all waiting with bated breath to see the man who brought us that shirt put it on and become immortalized. Now, speaking of Polo, the you know, and clothing and decisions and such, people, as astounding as this is, let's see, how long have we been doing something? We have probably been, we've been doing live feeds, not as long, obviously, as there's been a boat. We started doing live feeds maybe a month ago. I think we're probably about a month into our live feeds, and they have, number one, changed the complexion of the boat. He says, my son is happy. He wants to wear it to school, and I don't see an issue with it because you don't know it's about drugs. You're absolutely right, and it doesn't have to be. It can be about anything. right? Never quit quitting is about not ever just getting up and dusting yourself off. It really is a bigger picture thing. It doesn't have to just be about drugs. It doesn't have to just be about addiction. Just you don't stop doing things that you shouldn't do, whatever they are, right? Quit being an idiot, right? Doesn't matter what it is you're quitting, but you can't give up on getting rid of bad habits. Plain and simple. So no, there's no reason why your boy can't wear that to school with pride, because we've already established, especially through the story that you emailed me, your son is super proud of his dad. And if that is not an A on the report card of life, Saigon, then nothing is, right? How do you know you're doing the right thing in terms of being a dad? Yeah, your the faith that your son has in you is a report card that literally is an A plus, and it's just a glaring thing right there for you to see. And that's what a beautiful story. And just I'm proud of you. He's proud of you. We're all proud of you, man. We really are. Can't wait to see you in that shirt. And I can't wait to see all of you in that shirt. But we want to make sure we do it right. But as I was saying, people, because we're getting closer to the top of the hour when this is going to wind down, the there is a topic of conversation that, for whatever reason, winds its way into just about every single live feed that we do. Amazingly, I think it started on the first, if it was not the first live feed, then it might have been the second one. You know who could probably tell me this is one of the historians that we have here. Fiona could probably tell me. Jackson could probably tell me. Deja could probably tell me. But when the boxers or briefs, somebody just said it, right? Either boxers or briefs. We get this constantly. It's one of those things that just continues to come up. I have tried, really like dedicated, tried to sort of, I don't know, avoid weighing in on the subject matter, but it is one of those things that just continually comes up, which is Tidy Whitey's says Space Jeezy, sometimes called deduntanants. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but the briefs are called deduntanants because, you know, like the superhero, because they always sort of sport those over the outside of their tights, the old deduntanants. Boxer briefs, that's another option. I will tell you this, that to end this debate once and for all, I do not wear briefs. Boxers or boxer briefs, and make no mistake that if I'm doing it, most assuredly, people, it will have a polo guy on it. I'm just saying. So whether it's whether it's boxers or boxer briefs, there's going to be a little guy riding a horse on it. That's pretty much a lock. And that's all I have to say about that. We can. The debate is done. What Tommy wears. That's it's absolutely astounding that I. Wages World says I bought a $60 pair of underwear that literally holds nothing, like a bra, and they did not help me at all. Yeah, they. You know, the only funny thing, people, and we're all grown-ups, but if you've ever listened to sports radio, there is a guy out there that has a show, and his name is Pharrell, and the name of the show is Pharrell on the Bench. And the fact that this guy has a radio show and is as successful as he is amazing. He's a great sports analyst, but his voice is like this. I'm not exaggerating at all. He has the most unbelievable rasp that you've ever heard. So the delivery, and it doesn't match. When you see the picture of him, he looks like an attorney. But when you hear the voice, he just sounds commando, oculi, been there, done that. You know what I mean? That's a go-to. Pulling underwear from out of thin air. That did you like that? It's like the people on the shows where they put the thing in the oven and then pull it out and boom, it's done. But Pharrell does one of his sponsors is a company that makes boxers called Frigo, and they have a pouch, right? And that's the Frigo pouch. It's like trademarked and patented and all that. And a person called in one day to ask about it, and what he described how that what the pouch was for, and managed to get away with this on the radio is one of the funniest segments in history. Maybe if I find it, I can post it over on the on our other deal. But if you know Pharrell on the Bench, you know what I'm talking about. The guy just has really a ridiculous voice. Jacob Forrester, I can't stop laughing at the flag comment. I don't even want to know what the flag comment is. I first saw that stuff in a woman's locker room and giggled for a while. I don't want to know what that is either. Only when I was younger in my kilt. Boy, if you just jumped in on the middle of this, right? If anyone is just stopping by the boat for the first time right now, they're going, the hell is this place? Today, this is a two-piece today, right? The official participation trophy is a two-piece. This is going to two people today. First and foremost, this is going to the Kiss freak, the Kiss fanatic, my friend and yours. It took guts to come on and do what you did, and it's not easy. It's not easy to talk in front of a camera if you're talking about things that are cheery and fun and happy. But to come on and talk about a part of your life that you're not proud of, that took guts, and it's going to open the door for a lot of other people to do the same thing. And for that, Chris, this is for you. That was a really gutsy thing that you did today, and I respect it. And that apology at the end of that literally is magic. It's one of those things that no matter how long I do this, if we get to 5 million or 10 million people on this boat, that is going to be a moment that I treasure like very few others. Yes, he said I can use his real name. His real name is Chris, people, as you probably heard in the interview. As those, Canadians, they can't have a last name like Smith. But Charlebois, that would be Chris Charlebois. And Chris, you're a hero. This is yours. Congratulations for what you did. It's going to open a lot of doors. It's going to help a lot of people. God bless you. That's awesome. And the second one of these that goes out today is going to the first mate on this boat, without whom there would be no boat. Plain and simple. I would be Captain Tommy Scoville from my dinghy, rowing, trying to keep 2 or 3 people, afloat, as opposed to getting shipped all over the world. I've said it before, and if you could have heard the conversations that transpired between me and the first mate as he was explaining to me how things work and the best way to attack this and the best way to move forward, really, really, incredible stuff. I can say right now that it is a absolute fact that I would have 600 subscribers and about 1,800 hours of view time. We would not be where we are today if it was not for the wisdom of Mr. Mark Wages. Oh no, Martin. Did I just see? Hold on a second, people. I am sorry. I got to do this real quickly. Stick with me, people. Oh, yeah, I'm probably saying the name wrong. Maryin, right? The my friend who's back. People, I got an email from him the other morning that said permission to come back aboard the boat. Like so many of us people, he had a misstep where there was a bit of a relapse, and he has had to get refocused. But he's here and he's back. And people, I had a couple of hundred subscribers before I had a channel because of what I did through Chase the Heat. But the first member of the lifeboat, the first person that I actually tried to help one-on-one in doing what I do right now, he was the very first. I consider him I actually ran into him in a comment section. Wages, you just said hello to my friend. I'm glad that you did. He was in a comment section, and he had left a comment about where he was at in life, and he was not particularly happy. And I popped on underneath in the comment section and said, I have a channel that deals with drugs and addiction. Well, I don't, but I'm going to really shortly because everything was in place, but I hadn't launched yet. And I said, it's not there yet, but here's my dream of what I'm going to do. And it was awesome because he said, boy, that's great. I think that's a great idea. And we started a friendship that day. And people, we'd be lying if we said that we didn't feel it when one of our brothers has a misstep or has a relapse or any of that. Not, and it's not, we're not upset with them. We hurt for them. We hurt with them. And that's part of what we do. It's part of something that we will always have to deal with. But you know why we do it? Because when it goes the other, happiest thing in the entire world. And when I got a message from him that said permission to come back aboard, Captain, it was like the sun was shining on me, and I was not, I wasn't going to feel really comfortable getting. He says, and look where you are now, Tommy. You're proud of me. I'm proud of you, brother. And I'm so glad that I saw your name before I ended the live feed, because I would have felt horrible if I didn't get an opportunity to give you a shout out. And I'll tell you something. More importantly, brother, I appreciate the the accolades, but more importantly, look where you are right now. Right, you're right where you're supposed to be, my friend. You're among family, and you're among friends, and we got your back. Every single person on this boat has got your back, and that's that's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy that you're back here. I mean it. I am so happy that you are back here, because this is where you're supposed to be. There's nobody here that's going to judge you. There's not. And better than that, we're not going to let you beat up yourself either. I just woke up and saw the live feed and jumped in. Perfect. We're here, and that if you need me, and if waters get rough and we're not on a live feed, you know how to get a hold of me, and don't hesitate, brother. I'm here for you whenever. People, I really I want to thank everybody. Really going to try to keep these to an hour most of the time. People, on the weekends, I will do these feeds longer. I promise you, I will do these feeds longer. But tomorrow is going to be one of those days. I got 40 things that I need to take care of, and then on top of it, of course, my number comes up for the drug test again too. The random drug test thing it's not a huge pain in the can. You just go down and you pee in a cup. It doesn't take long, but it's just that it's random, but they almost time it so that every time, I really wish there was a day that it wasn't going to be one of those things, because it honestly takes me in the opposite direction of everything that I need to do. Right? I gotta go 5 miles in the wrong direction, right, and go do what I do, and then head off in the other direction. But it was really awesome last night to have the. You can't push those lithium crystals any harder. No, you know why you can't? Because they just used all of them to fire Captain Kirk into space. Look how happy Fiona is. I mentioned Captain Kirk, and I can see Fiona smiling from here. I don't know if you know this, people, but she's a bit of a Trekkie. Bad with it. Posters of them in high school, and yeah, just a big fan. In fact, if I was called anything other than Captain, I'm not even sure if she'd be here. But so I got to go and take my drug test tomorrow, and I got all of these things I got to do. I got to go down and file the paperwork and all of that. And I got to, more importantly than anything, I got to box up these shirts that are supposed to be coming in tomorrow and get them on the way to Mr. Saigon Cinnamon and his Saigon Jr., so that the two of them can get their shirts on and get some pictures. The Body and Soul one, your grandson is struggling. Boy, I hate to read something like that right as I'm getting off of a live stream. Reach out to me. I am Captain Tommy Scoville at gmail.com. Captain Tommy Scoville at gmail.com. If you need any further help, that's anybody. Reach out. If it takes me a day or two, people, it's because a lot of emails come in, but you have my word, I go through all of them. I'm that cat. I really am. And that is just the truth. Oculi Mortis. Fluffy Nerf Herder. Boy, can you really do better than ending on the term fluffy nerf herder? Yeah, I don't want to say anything other than that. People, fluffy nerf herder. I am Captain Tommy Scoville. This is the lifeboat. People, between now and tomorrow morning, you know what I want you to do, right? I want you to get out there, and I want you to try to save somebody. People, don't miss a show. Hit that little subscribe button and hit the bell for notification. And if you like what we're doing here, people, tell 25 people about it. For real. Because the world needs more of what you guys are doing. More than anything else, the world needs more of this crew. If the world had more of this crew, that would be a much better place. Charlie Mullins, I love you. Jesse Brown, Deja, Bent Genetics, The Body and Soul 1. Billy, Truth Be Told, Kiss Freak, so proud of you, man. Wages, you know how I feel, Mark. You are the absolute salt of the earth. Cemetery 76, good to see you. Greg F, good night, my friend. Fiona, I'm glad that you're here in spite of the Vegemite. Vicky Brook, Vicky, I'm so happy you're here. Deja, where are you? Dillard's. I thought this was the Love Boat. You know what? You're not far off the mark. You are not far off the mark. There's Deja. Deja, you have a great day. Jesse Brown. Charlie Mullins. Tell somebody today that you love them, people. Charlie's never been wrong. That's it. That's the news. I'm out of here. Make it a good night. Oh, almost knocked that one over.